But yeah, I was just gonna say somebody call Hut. Get Hut on the phone.
Yeah, rip Huts.
Or Lagus. And so we're actually a couple of Terran players in the region earlier, but yeah, a mixture of mostly retirement. Although Igus did switch his race before he retired, so.
Yeah. I mean, fun fact, a couple of them have been streaming recently. Hut started streaming, I think, 2 weeks ago, which was really exciting. Like, everyone, of course, was tuning in, like Chase, Seether, Mighty Kiwi, everyone was in the chat. So it's cool that because of how things are right now, because of the lockdown, a couple of players have been playing more. Not just Hut, but Death as well. I've seen Death streaming a lot recently. So it's cool to see some of these players coming back.
I definitely tend to agree. And speaking of coming back, here we are coming back for the 7th week?
7th.
I don't remember Pro playing the first one though.
I did not.
Question mark. Here we have it. Over in the right-hand side of the map, spawning in the right-hand side of Golden Wall. LE. LE, of course, does in fact stand for lithium energy. That's when you got the lithium battery and you drink it, and then you've got energy. Here we have in the right-hand side of the map, all the way from land down streaming as POV. We have the blue Protoss representing Legacy Esports as well as Australia. He is our representative. We have Probe.
Did your brain just like stop working for a second there? Like what?
I was waiting for the insert.
God damn. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, as well as taking the gold base, we have the Vietnamese Zerg player representing Far East Society Gaming. He is the big cat himself, MeomaikA.
That probe is angry.
Which probe? The probe or probe?
That specific probe. But I mean, I guess probe could be a little bit confused.
Yeah. So we've seen MeomaikA do this a couple of times, actually. We've casted him in quite a number of ZVPs. He's done this against Pez. He's done this against Probe. And we'll see what Probe's response will be to this. As MeomaikA, he is also mining out those minerals next to the main base, and that is to be able to defend the other side of that gold mineral line in case like stalkers or adepts end up on the other side and try to harass the drones. So MeomaikA is already aware that that's a possibility, and he's setting himself up for that.
Yeah, that's a rationale, but when it comes to MeomaikA, that might not be his rationale. We do see a very quick toilet coming out from Probe, so I have a feeling we're going to have what we are used to seeing at this point, like them DTs.
Yeah, of course. What else could it be? Of course, we've got Blink DTs on the way. But based on...
DTs and Archons, more like...
Yeah, based on the opener, I do imagine we're going to see Glaives come out of that Twilight Council, as that has been a quite popular opener. Oh, never mind though. Dark Shrine. Hey.
Yeah. DTs and Archons.
Yeah, and I do honestly quite like that. Archons are pretty annoying to deal with, especially if you only have wings. So dropping Archons on the other side of the mineral line can do a lot of damage.
Well, we'll have to see if MeomaikA prepares himself against that. We do see a lair coming up, and we might see roaches, we might see hydras, but yeah, we're gonna need something up other than just lings.
Yeah, especially against Archons. We'll see if roaches come out or hydras, as we have seen MeomaikA go for these like tight hydra timings in ZVP before, like just pure hydra ling. He has been known for it, but we'll see how he utilizes this gold base, as this could trigger a different response out of him, as yeah, as of yet, we don't see a Roach Warren. We do see Lair about to finish up. Are we going to see a Spire or a Hydra Den? What do we?
Probably going to be a Spire, but actually going to be a Hydralisk
There we
Den,
go.
which
Yeah.
I'm happy to see. I'm just a little surprised.
Yeah, we've seen MeomaikA do this before. Yeah, we've seen him do this before. He's done this against Pez a number of times. He does go for a Ling Hydra timing Baneless, sometimes with Banes, sometimes without, but it does hit quite strong. We'll see if his economy is disrupted, though, by these DTs.
Well, we already have detection out. We already have some spores, but they are just moving into the other side of the map. This queen is so vulnerable. And now it's just a matter of right-clicking for the DTs to be able to take out that spore. Luckily, the Overseer is here in time.
Yeah. There we have it. We have a single Archon being mortared, which I do like this. For a moment there were those DTs to protect the Archon, but there we have it. The first one is done. The second one should be done as well. And this...
good timing.
Yeah.
You have it so that just when the first Archon is finished, the second one is on its way. Or it's ready to protect the other Archon.
Yeah, they cover each other, which is quite nice. And again, as I was saying, like, it's so difficult to deal with those Archons on the other side of the minerals with just pure Lings. It's so inefficient to deal with. So, yeah, right now he's kind of forcing... Yeah, he's just forcing MeomaikA just to not be able to mine, period, from that mineral line.
But Hydras are out, and they can definitely form quite a bit of defense here. The Queen does go down. And Probe, that's a missing mineral in that wall. See MeomaikA decides to mine, or if either MeomaikA or Probe decides to mine that out.
Yeah, this actually could be a little bit of a mistake because this could be timed perfectly for MeomaikA to flood in. It almost looked like he was waiting for Probe.
He is definitely waiting for it. He's turning back around. I think, yeah, that was just a little bit of an all-army to defend against the Archons. I think MeomaikA might have given himself away here.
Yeah, I think Probe caught a glimpse of that, which may have been a mistake there by MeomaikA, but I think the Probes are still mining. They are!
We'll see what the reaction is going to look like. Oh, Light.
Oh my god, one more. Just one more. He's waiting for one more, and then he's gonna go in. No, the Probes are continuing to mine. This is gonna be they're gonna flood in. There it is.
They're going straight for it. But luckily Probe does pull a couple of units back as he does not quite trust MeomaikA there.
He was ready for it.
Way to defend. And there is.
Yeah, nicely done there.
Look.
Meanwhile, though, MeomaikA is pushing towards the front.
Yeah, there he is. The Warp Prism will get a glimpse of that, but yeah, not going to be running into the Hydra list. And it's actually, have you noticed, Light? It's pure Ling Hydra right now. There are no Banelings at all. There's not even a Baneling nest.
I was saying that earlier, how MeomaikA often likes to do this Baneless. It is just pure Ling Hydra, and it does hit a nice timing, but it looks like he is backing off, and because of that, we could just be seeing a transition into a later game as MeomaikA, he didn't seem to hit his timing. Like, there was enough there for Probe, and we could just be seeing a transition. Or instead, actually, MeomaikA, he's rotating down to the south, and Probe's base could be a little bit vulnerable here in the lower half of the map.
Good snipe there coming out from MeomaikA, and I would agree, but it is Probe that we're talking about. Assistant Deputy Acting Vice Chair of S.H.I.E.L.D.
He's agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., if you will. Not quite on the level of Stats, but you know, he does work for him. You know, Stats does collect his taxes. But yeah, we'll see. As MeomaikA, he does spot the army that is there. He does know, or at least he can assume that base was taken. As MeomaikA, he is droning up. He is also getting another wave of Lings as well. This is a pretty large army. Again, I'm just trying to figure out where he's trying to hit, as he does have a force in the lower half, and he has mined out the middle as well, so he can continue to move back and forward.
I think that's just going to be the idea from MeomaikA, just hit in one area and then rotate to the next once it's available. I'm starting to get worried for MeomaikA. Does he have any Evo chambers?
It doesn't seem like it's, and this is going to hit before Storm is complete, as it is only just barely halfway done. And will this be enough for MeomaikA? As
I feel like MeomaikA is just all armying, to be honest.
Yeah, he's kind of forced to defend here at the same time. Oh my god, this is reminding me of Probe versus Seether right now, with the Warp Prism comes in and he forces the army back home. And this is buying Probe the time he needs for Storm.
Indeed it is. But MeomaikA has just... Nope, never mind. Yep, there we go. MeomaikA has just decided, you know what? Enough's enough. Nope, pulls back.
Yeah,
Enough's enough. And he's trying to set those Templar.
Yeah, it's so difficult to push into this, and so many Lings were wasted trying to defend, and so much time was spent as well, and it looks like with Storm finished, Probe, he's going to be able to defend this.
Plenty of energy, yep. Whilst decimating the economy of MeomaikA, the storms do come down, and the army does evaporate. GG is called, and MeomaikA going to be tapping out there. Probe taking game number 1.
GG, and... yeah, that's the thing with that push that MeomaikA does with the Ling Hydra is that it's meant to hit a timing, and if it doesn't, then it has a very hard time dealing much damage at all. And because of the map as well, because of Golden Wall, like it can be a little bit awkward to engage either into the natural or into that lower third base as well. I question the reliability of that build on that map specifically. And again, like props to Probe as well. He kept pulling MeomaikA back, buying enough time for that Storm. And as soon as Storm finished, like he was fine defending. Like it was nothing. Like Probe was in his element at that point.
I am nodding along to agree with you there. It's it's hard to really tell what MeomaikA could have done differently. I feel like it might have just been. It's less of what MeomaikA could have done differently and more of what could he have done better. What could he have improved? What can he improve upon?
I think
there.
Yeah, a lot of it just kind of comes down to. Yeah. I do definitely believe that it was just once that War Prism got into his natural, he wanted to defend, but then after it took so long, and he actually never ended up cleaning it up. Like those Archons continued to harass until the end of the game. Yeah, if he had made the decision to just attack instead of trying to defend, then maybe he could have just ended the game. It is more of like an all-in move though, and maybe he just wasn't comfortable with that to begin with, and that's why he was very hesitant. He was pulling his army back. He was trying to deal with it, and in the end, GG.
In the end, we load on into game number 2 here in this Best of I series. By the way, I did take a little bit of a snoop at the bracket before we started. Pez beating Demi 2-1. We're facing Seether. And speaking of which, here we have it spawning in Eternal Empire, EELE, which, as we all know, stands for External Enterprise Legally Inquired. Not inquired, but enquired. Is that a word? I think that's a word. I heard it once, unless I misheard. In the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, we have a blue Protoss all the way from the land down under. He is looking here, the favorite of his bracket. He has won 5 of these Open Cups fueled by Dare. Now looking to make a 5th. He's got his nemesis on the other side though, which he's gonna have to overcome. I think he can do it though. We have representing Legacy Esports, the Assistant Deputy Vice Chairman Director of SHIELD. We have Probe.
And spawning in the upper right-hand corner of Eternal Empire LE, we have the Vietnamese Zerg, the big cat himself, representing Far East Society Gaming. It is MeomaikA.
That's not a pool first, but
no, it is not.
See how that comes into play.
Yeah, we do have MeomaikA going for a pretty standard, pretty economic opener.
Not standard though, or economic.
No, pulling
He's being thrown down.
Yeah, he's pulling a build out of Vivid's hat there, going for a very fast Evo chamber. We could be seeing +1 melee. Could see a big Ling Flood coming out from MeomaikA. And I'm a little bit worried. There is a scouting probe here outside of the natural for Probe. We'll see if he decides to dive back in. Oh, I like this though. MeomaikA going for a third base, or at least acting like he's going for a third base.
Anything you can do to sort of throw off your opponent, and you know what? If you actually pull it off, that's an advantage later on. We do see that Probe is going for that Stargate play, which, in addition to the damage, is pretty good for the scout. Question is, will it be too late? Perhaps not, because Stargate is also good for defense.
Yeah. I mean, he should have an Oracle for defense, and Oracles can clean up Lings pretty well, but we'll see. Like, it is possible that during the game, like, if he does make an Oracle, it could get picked off by the Queens, by Spores. Like, a lot could happen. So,
okay, he's making an Oracle.
Yeah. So we'll see.
The possibility to go Mass Phoenix is.
Oh, did he see it? Did he?
Think he did not.
He didn't.
He canceled that shade just a pixel before.
Wow. So Probe, he's still in the dark. He doesn't know that this is happening. And again, the Oracle, since it's almost done, it could be completely out of position for this, as I imagine he's going to want to send it across the map. And if he does, it's not going to be at home for defense. And additionally, he needs the energy of that Oracle for defense as well, whether it's for stasis or whether it's just to try and go against the Lings. And yeah, we'll see. As MeomaikA, he does have the third base, which he does need for lava. He's draining up a little bit, but he started his Ling production.
There we go. Oracle is going straight for the main. It's still not quite getting anything yet. Turns around.
He still hasn't seen it. Oh, no. He sees a handful of Lings, which is fine. Like, nothing too suspicious so far.
And he's throwing into Phoenixes behind us.
No, that's not what you need.
Yeah, well, I mean, Probe always has a recall available to him, so, you know, he has... It's not like he's completely dead. Actually going for Carapace first, which I actually kind of like. It's when you're investing so much into melee units, you want to be able to keep them alive so they can hit your opponent. MeomaikA actually going to be backing off there once he sees that it's a full wall.
Yeah, a little bit surprising there that MeomaikA decides to back off, and now he's droning up. He went for the Lings, he saw the wall, and he decided not to commit, which is a little bit surprising.
Like,
See, he dives back in.
MeomaikA does whatever he wants.
Yeah, he is droning up behind this, and he will at least clean up these Adepts, and yeah, we're just seeing a transition.
That we are takes out the Adepts, which is a little bit of map control.
Yeah.
But then again, the Oracles are still up. We use up quite a bit of their energy, though, as we do see that MeomaikA going to be fairly comfortably going up into lair against that Reborn, which is what we absolutely need to see.
I'm all right. So I'm a little bit worried, and hear out my thought process, because MeomaikA, he's getting fourth base behind this. He's taking up. If we see an infestation pit, are we going to see Ultras again against Protoss? Because he has the melee upgrade. He has the melee upgrade.
He can't, right?
Yo, we're talking about MeomaikA here.
I mean, he did it once before. That should be enough, right? He is getting Hydras behind us.
Okay. He's going to Roach Hydra.
All right. Or Roach Hydra. Or Roach Hydra Lurker. Or Roach Hydra Ravager Lurker. Or Roach Ravager Hydra. Or Roach Ravager Lurker.
Yeah. So what's important is that we are seeing Infestation Pit. Oh, this Immortal actually losing a little bit of health there. Nicely done by MeomaikA. Also forcing a couple of force fields.
Yeah, making sure that Probe is going to be on a very low energy here. Making sure that if the push happens soon, which it should, if you're playing as MeomaikA, that's what you want to happen.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit perplexed as to what MeomaikA is doing, because he's making a lot of Lings. On top of that, he's getting Hydra upgrades and Roach upgrades. Oh, actually, he's focusing down the Nexus. He could actually get the Nexus.
He is definitely trying to do good use of the body blocking and the force fields here by Probe. And now, even though he can't surround the sentries have been taken out. Zealots are about to be surrounded. Oracle going to be chipping in here, but running out of energy, and Probe keeps his base alive. Loses a little bit there, though.
Yeah, MeomaikA.
Exactly what MeomaikA wanted. Trade Lings or literally any Zerg unit.
Yeah, he traded very well there with his links. He was able to kill all the sentries as well as a bunch of zealots as well, and still getting a bunch of worker kills, forcing the drones off of the line as well. At the same time, he's pushing with his roaches into the third base.
That Galile has just finished, and yeah, MeomaikA is not just multi-pronging. He is infinite pronging from every single direction. He has surround pronging. There we go.
Yeah, there's no wall in the natural either, so those things could slip in, and more roaches are hitting the third base as well. Probe, he's kind of being pulled apart right now.
Are out, or Immortals, I should say, are out, and there are 3 of them, but they are starting to be targeted down. Probe, meanwhile, is starting to target down the roaches behind that. I'm a little bit worried for Probe, doesn't quite have the Warp Piston, but the links are in.
Yeah, Probe, again, like the majority of his army is here at the third. 12 workers have gone down, and more are going down since those links are still in the main base of Probe. Like, MeomaikA, he's just finding more and more damage, and he's still rallying across the map. Is he going to get the third base? No, he shouldn't, right?
There are too many Immortals. Maybe if he biles it down, backs off, and biles more.
Yeah, loses more sentries there. The Biles, nice connections, and MeomaikA, he's just keeping Probe contained, and he's just killing so many high-tech units there. Even
he's even killing the
Oracles.
That he is. Hydras are just worth their weight in gold right here. And yeah, MeomaikA is about to swarm Probe.
It's around the Immortals. The
might just be it. This sentry is definitely providing a lot of armor buffs, but they're going down. The Immortals go down, and GG is called. MeomaikA tying up the series sideways 1-1. And there we have it. It's you know how you're saying Pez goes up against all of the Southeast Asian Zerg players. MeomaikA trying to go up against all of the Oceanian Protoss players.
Yeah, MeomaikA with a really interesting style there, kind of a little bit of everything. He was flooding links, he was flooding roaches and ravagers across the map. I don't even think the hydras were necessary. There were only there were like 4 hydras at the end. Like, yeah,
maybe if necessary, but they definitely helped out. And if MeomaikA was just pushed back a little bit, the hydras would have helped even more.
Yeah, I would definitely say that the Hydras would have come into play if he didn't end the game and if he didn't find as much damage as he did. But he just dealt so much worker damage. He was in all the bases of Probe, and what was important was that he never let up. Like, he just continued the aggression. He never let Probe breathe and catch a breath and like try and establish his bases once again. Like, there were just links constantly coming in across the map, roaches as well. Very nicely played there by MeomaikA.
I tend to agree. We are going to be loading on to our final map in the semifinals, and man, it could really go either way at this point.
Oh yeah.
I guess like if MeomaikA does it, this is going to be the first time since he signed up that Probe is not going to make it to a finals of an ESL Open Cup.
Yeah. As aside from number 1, as I was looking up earlier, Probe did play in the first iteration, but he was knocked out in the round of 16 by Seether, which was insane to say the least.
It definitely was. And speaking of insane, like, we are spawning in onto Simulac Rum. Yaha Fiddle-dee LE by the C 2 for 3 with me. Gonna have to slap my knee. But E. Trying to find some more rhymes to put in there, so if anyone has suggestions. Here in the top left-hand corner of the map, spawning in the top left-hand corner of the map, we have a blue Protoss all the way from the land down under. He is our regional representative to multiple events. He is currently streaming his POV, so you can go check it out over on his Twitch channel. We have representing Legacy Esports, it is Probe.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Simulacrum LE, but also about to be spawning in the left-hand corner of Simulacrum LE, as he does have a drone here, which I imagine will be for a proxy hatch. We have the Vietnamese Zerg player representing Far East Society Gaming, as well as Southeast Asia, the entirety of that region. We have MeomaikA. Are you getting
Or
flashbacks?
Nexus, MeomaikA says. I am getting flashbacks to what MeomaikA did in his championship run, and in his own words, proxy hatch, get money.
Yeah, so for the people who haven't tuned into many of these tournaments, MeomaikA won, I think it was ESL 4 or 5. It was a couple of weeks ago, but he faced Probe in the finals, and every single game he proxy hatched. Every single game.
And he got money.
Yeah, and he got money.
Time he will get the cancel out. Very nicely done. Won't be losing too much there. Wait just for last second. We see him dancing the drone around, just trying to get a second one, but I feel like he might already be in Probe's head here.
Yeah, and nicely done there by MeomaikA. It's important to note that I believe again in the games versus Probe he denied the hatchery multiple times, and like that didn't matter. Like at the end of the day, all MeomaikA wanted was to delay that natural of the Protoss player, and oftentimes that was enough. Like that's kind of all you need.
Yeah, the good old snowball effect there. We do see that MeomaikA is trying to sneak in. I think he wants to pull a chase here, like.
that would be insane. I mean,
MeomaikA. Okay, no, he might have had a gas steal.
Yeah, he isn't quite banking up the minerals for that. It would be insane to try and do that so late as well. But at the same time, it is MeomaikA, and anything's possible.
It is. It would be insane, but yeah, no, MeomaikA is.
That fits his MO.
Pretty close there, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, hatchery being thrown down this time on MeomaikA's side of the map. Which is crazy to me, but do what you gotta do. Lair transition gonna be starting up here, and what we gotta think. What will MeomaikA follow this up on? His, as we were saying, he was trying to get that delay to keep the Protoss economy down, but what's gonna be the follow up?
So this is a pretty fast lair, and it's off of one gas as well. We could see a couple of things. I was hoping we would see Spire at some point for MeomaikA, as that's kind of what he's known for. But with only one gas, he's finally taking the rest of them. We'll see if he decides to go for Spire or for Hydras. Or Infestation. Yeah, that's true. That could happen as well.
Well, yeah, how much gas do you need for that? We do see MeomaikA getting his gases now, starting to saturate them up. So it's not too late for Aspire. We do see the Evo chamber being thrown down first. I feel like Hydralisk would be the better option at this point. If he's going
especially because he only took 3 gases and not 4. Typically, if you go Mutalist, you need as much gas as you can get. So yeah, opting to go for Hydralisk instead.
And we did see how effective they can be in how effective they can be or how effective they aren't. They aren't always.
Yeah, I would say that this is a better map for it. Like he's getting +1 range as well, so he's opting to go for that Link Hydra style once again. I do think that he will fare better in this scenario. But again, we'll see what Probe is able to do in response, as there are a couple of Oracles on their way to that 3rd base.
Yeah, that's not quite the defenses there yet. It is the freshest base, but there is already a Spore and a Queen.
No, he's diving anyway. He can tank a couple shots.
That he can, almost losing their Oracle, but not getting 4 drones pretty much for free right there. And there's the Twilight Council, so yeah, it's not going to be a full-on Sky Toss coming out from Probe, which is probably the more standard approach. Typically wait for the late game before you transition.
Yeah, important to note as well that the Oracles did go to the 3rd, and now they're going into the main, but the Hydralisk Den is hidden at the natural, so it will be... Probe won't be able to see it for the longest time. MeomaikA even keeps the Lings that just hatched out in the main base so they don't go into the natural, just to make sure that the scout doesn't go off. But with the hallucination, will he spot it? No, does not. But finally...
position to place that Hydralisk Den on.
Yeah. But Probe does finally spot them with his observer in the middle of the map, as MeomaikA, he has decided now is the time. He's flooding Lings, flooding Hydralisk as well. He's going to make nothing but units as he's pushing across the map. And this time, there is no... Like, the Templar Archives has only just started. There's no storm on the way. This is the ideal situation for MeomaikA.
I'm just about nodding my head in agreement here. The Oracle's being useful here, going to be getting a lot of stasis wards up. Probe focusing so much defenses here on one side of the map, but I don't think it's gonna be enough.
Yeah, and
here comes the stasis ward, and that's a lot of links coming in. Will it be enough is gonna be the question. MeomaikA now fighting with the shield within shield battery range, and that's exactly where Probe wants to fight.
Yeah,
a lot of warping in, and MeomaikA gonna be backing off here while chasing down a couple of straight units. This stasis ward is about to wear off.
It is, and
nice.
Surprisingly, MeomaikA, he hasn't droned up. He's still continuing to flood more and more links across the map, and ooh, here is his response. We have a Nidus on the way, as well as Dropper Lords. Yo, he's doing everything he can to try and get into the main.
Why not? That's absolutely the name of the game here. All of the production is concentrated over there, so you want to be denying that as much as you can. There is a spotter pylon here, but the units just aren't really in place to defend. You see a couple of warp ins, and here comes the drop. And is the position good enough here for MeomaikA? It might be, but
there's no wall.
There's a wall here, and this is every unit of MeomaikA concentrated here. The shield battery is out of energy. The Immortal going to be going down. The natural base of Probe just evaporating. And
yeah,
now
Probe.
The Nidus.
No, the Archon is stuck on the outside of
here.
Yeah, and it looks like MeomaikA, it looks like he may have done it, especially with this Nidus to reinforce his army.
Yeah, I mean, Probe's only option here is to recall or to counterattack, but he really can't do either right now. Man, so much tech here, so much production, so many workers gonna be taken out for Probe.
Wow.
And this is oh man, I have a little bit on this later on. There we have it. For the first time since the first ESL Open Cup, Probe is not making a finals, and like I gotta tell you about that Nidus, man. Most players would do one or the other. They wouldn't commit as hard as MeomaikA did to those Dropper Lords. I feel like Vivid is smiling somewhere. I gotta tell you, Vivid, he doesn't know why. He's painting, and he's thinking, I don't know why. I'm feeling like my painting is inspiring someone.
yeah. As you were saying, like Nidus, if he had just gone for the Nidus, it would have taken so long to build and to get back up, especially because his army was already across the map. So I love that he opted for both. He opted for Nidus and Dropper Lords at the same time. And when he went for those Dropper Lords, he was able to bypass all the defensive structures, and he forced Probe out of position.
Yeah, and the timing that he actually got all of those on, you could see that it's definitely something that MeomaikA has thought of, at least for this map in particular. The sequence of events when I want to get the Nidus up. It's not going to be in the thick of the fight. It's going to be when in the middle of the fight, when I have the space to do so. I have the space and the time to get that Nidus up. And man, I'm looking at chat right now. Apparently, Probe is heartbroken over on his shell. So I would be too.
Yeah, and again, like this would have been an amazing best of 5 finals. Unfortunately, they met each other here in the semis, and sometimes this happens where the best of each region, the best of C, the best of ANZ meet each other, and MeomaikA has come out on top. GG, well played, Probe. He had some pretty solid defense, but he just wasn't prepared for what came at him. That being the Dropper Lords, right? Like he was getting his Templar archives. He was going to work towards that storm, just like in game number 1. He just needed a little bit more time, and he wasn't expecting that move out of MeomaikA, and he just completely caught him off guard.
It absolutely did.
Yeah, and I didn't blame him, right? Like who does that? No one. It's MeomaikA. That's it. GG.
GG. And yeah, it looks like our second semifinals has not been held. Caesar and Pez are, I think, are in game. They're not in ESL channel. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I imagine so. I imagine they are in game. And yeah, whether they're in game number, like whether they're mid-series or in game number 1, we're not sure. We're gonna try and hop into their series as soon as they are available. Once they are, maybe we'll just head right into the finals. It's definitely possible, as MeomaikA will be waiting there for his best of 5.